Let's talk about it. NEC Code Section 210.13, ground fault protection of equipment. The most important part about this particular code section is to differentiate it from the GFCI protection that's required in like dwelling units. So this is specifically the ground fault protection of equipment. This is protecting large gear from being destroyed. So what this says is branch circuits 1,000 amps or more. So these are great big branch circuits. You're talking about things like industrial smelters. You're talking about big industrial machinery, big like grinding apparatuses, cutting, steel mills, giant heaters. Just this is all going to be industrial process stuff. And the other thing to notice is this is a branch circuit. So this is not a feeder circuit. So it's important to differentiate those two. So this is a branch circuit at 1,000 amps or more. Shall be protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter. So we're talking about these three voltages in particular. We're talking about like 208, 480, and 600 volts at over 1,000 amps. We'll have to have this ground fault protection equipment installed. So it does have a couple of exceptions. The first exception is if the industrial process would cause a great hazard if it was shut down in a not orderly manner. So think about a giant crane in a steel mill. Now, if that giant crane or the giant heater or smelter was actually like tipping over a big vat of liquid metal, you want that process to continue. Or like if it stopped randomly in a bad spot, it could potentially cause fatal harm to the people around it. So in that particular application, it's not going to have that ground fault protection. And if that ground fault protection is on the supply side of the circuit and the load side of the transformer, that still means it's ground fault protected. So this code section will only apply to big industrial applications of 1,000 amps or more. It is separate from the GFCI protection you will have in the little GFCIs. This is for the equipment. And then that's your code section for today.